This piece came out on March 9th, and I've been meaning to share it with you, but there's been so much going on, and I've been using my channel to keep up with what's going on here in the US. But I think this is a very important piece. A demonstration commemorating International Women's Day was attacked on Tuesday afternoon in Cairo, in Tahrir Square. More than 200 men charged on the women, forcing some to the ground, dragging others out of the crowd, groping and sexually harassing them as police and military figures stood by and failed to act. It was a shocking wake-up call. Even in Tahrir Square, the symbol of Egypt's newfound freedom, it seems that it's going to take more than a revolution to overhaul the deep-seated misogyny that some Egyptian men so freely and openly impose on the country's female population. The female demonstrators, myself among them, have been protesting against Egypt's chronic sexual harassment problem, against the many barriers women face in public life, and against the pervasive conservatism that curtails the freedom of women in society at large. The women chanted slogans that had been used in the revolution itself, calling for freedom, justice, and equality. But their demonstration quickly attracted counter-protests. The women's chants calling for an Egypt for all Egyptians were drowned out by retaliations such as "No to freedom," shouted by the opposing group. The men charged at the female protesters, who had been standing on a raised platform in the middle of Tahrir Square, and shouted, "Get out of here." Many women were dragged away individually by small groups of men who attacked them. I remained on the platform with 5 other women. A small circle of sympathetic men held hands around us to protect us from the crowd, which swelled on all sides. This piece is profoundly important because it hits home the reality that freedom for a nation does not automatically mean freedom for the women of that nation. And those nations that the US claims to go over there and help liberate, they're not helping liberate the women. They're helping liberate the men. They use the women as poster children or to gain sympathy. But that's not automatically what it means. I am grateful for every feminist, male and female alike, that came before me. Because if not, these protests in Wisconsin and all across this country might look very different. Just like the politicians in Washington are working to take the rights of the average working person away, we can't forget they're also working to take the rights of women away. It already happened here in Texas. They took away the rights to collectively bargain a long time ago. So never forget, you have rights, but those rights can be taken away from you. At that time, in that moment, you will need to remember where you came from so that you can see what's going on around you. And you will need to remember how to fight for what belongs to you. Because there will always come a day, there are always going to be forces that are going to be trying to take that away. for men and women alike. But no, you can't just put women's rights under some great big scope of humanism and forget about it there. Not until the day that freedom for a nation automatically means freedom for the women of that nation. On that day, then maybe.